You have a lot more to get to, including the ongoing battle against COVID. The FDA now giving a green light to a second booster of the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines for anybody over 50 and the immunocompromised 12 and older.
It comes as the number of COVID cases in the U.S. continues to drop, about 30,000 per day over the last week. But the rate of decline has slowed, and health officials say the BA2 variant is now the dominant strain in the U.S., and it counts for 55% of all new cases. Joining us to walk through everything you need to know, Dr. Richard Besser, the former acting director of the CDC, a pediatrician, and the president of the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation. Dr. Besser, okay, a fourth shot, a second booster. Who should race out to get it, and who should wait?
Well, Savannah, this is one of those where I don't think anyone needs to race. This is one of those things where people should think thoughtfully. So if you're over 50 and you have underlying medical conditions that put you at greater risk, so things like diabetes or heart disease or lung disease, you're in a group where you might benefit from getting that extra booster dose. When you talk about cases going down, that's exciting news. So many of us have enjoyed the freedom we've had with that. But if you look across the ocean at Europe and see what's happened there with the BA2 variant, they saw a major peak. And we're starting to see some signals in the United States, the data that shows that the BA2 is the dominant variant, but also some states that are starting to see not just a slowing of the decline, but a slight increase in cases. So I would encourage people to pay attention to what's going on in your own community. If you start to see cases go up and you're in one of those risk groups, that's a time to think about getting a booster, in particular people who are over 65 and those who have medical conditions that put them at risk.
Is there any disadvantage to getting another booster? So if you don't have those underlying conditions, I'm 50, I don't have any of those underlying conditions, but if I just go ahead and get the booster, is there any reason not to do that?
Well, you know, the vaccine is safe. The data that was used for this authorization comes out of several small studies, one larger study out of Israel. And it shows that it does provide some added protection. But there's a question in terms of how long does that protection last? So what I would see as a potential downside is if you're in an area where it's really, really low and you get the booster now, and 2-3 months from now the rate goes up higher, I don't know you're going to have the same protection than if you wait a couple months. So that's why I would say pay attention to what's going on locally. This is one of those situations where talking to your doctor really matters. And unfortunately, in America, there are tens of millions of people who don't have doctors to talk to. I really worry, Savannah, if Congress doesn't provide the administration with additional funds, that we're going to be in a situation where people who have insurance are getting vaccinated or getting access to drugs and treatment, and people who don't have insurance are going to be in a much more difficult situation.
Yeah, a great concern, of course. And then real quickly, I mean, as for BA2, is it looking to be less virulent, less severe, but more contagious, as we saw with Omicron before it?
Well, it's definitely looking to be more contagious. It doesn't look like it's any more severe than Omicron, and the vaccines appear to be just as effective against this BA2 as they were and are against the Omicron strains. You know, the big push on vaccination should be people who haven't had any vaccines, those who haven't had any boosters, before we do an all-out major push for this next booster. With each additional dose, you get some protection, but not as much protection as you do that first time around. So if you haven't gotten vaccinated, it's not too late to do so. You'll get some great protection.
All right, Dr. Besser, thank you as always. Appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Find your favorite recipes, celebrity interviews, uplifting stories, shop our favorite deals, and so much more with the Today app. Download it now.